Hey guys, making a little video on if you're maybe becoming homeless. So let's get into it. Um, the best thing to do is actually not to be homeless. Um, have like a support group, like family or friends that you know, coworkers that you can stay at. Um, I'm just naming some options. I mean, whether it be problems at wherever you're at or financial, uh, yeah, just ask for help, whatever. So, all right, let's get into it. Um, if you are gonna be like on the streets, what I would do is get some gear, and what I mean by that is, please, whatever you do not buy a big, you know, hiking backpack or really big something that'll draw attention. You don't want that. So let's get into it. Identification. Have your three forms of ID: social security card, birth certificate, and state ID or driver's license. If you don't have a picture ID, you can go to the church, a church, and use their address, and they'll write a letter, and you get an ID for free in your state. And with that identification, invest in a chain wallet so nobody would actually like take it from you, because people, they pickpocket, and yeah, it can it. Well, I mean, you have a really high chance of that happening. So invest in a chain wallet and keep it tucked somewhere where it's kind of impossible for them to, you know, snatch it. So next thing, get a smartphone or tablet. Um, the reason why I say that is because you need communication with the world around you. You need to apply for jobs. I mean, yes, you can use libraries, but there's free Wi-Fi everywhere. Get a tablet or smartphone. Even if you get a smartphone for paid for the first month, like Metro PCS is like $67 out the door for a smartphone, good cameras. You could keep in contact with people in your life. And not only that, if you're in trouble, you're gonna need it. Um, yeah, so let's get into the backpack. Carry real light. Like, I'm talking about, like, I got this like Ozark Trail backpack. It's only like this, yay, like a regular normal size, three pockets, and fits everything that I would need in it, and one change of clothes. Like, if you're in a, what I would suggest is move to a warmer climate, because you wouldn't have to carry like a big coat everywhere you go, and uh, I mean, it's just too much weight on you if you're trying to be like that during the winter on the street. Um, yeah, so yeah, just yeah, get like a light backpack. That's all you need, trust me. And then yeah, use your backpack as a pillow and tie a rope around your wrist so nobody can take it from you while you're sleeping. Now, how to make money? Um, what I did, I or busked. So what that means is you play an instrument, which I just so happen to have a guitar, like acoustic. Um, Play outside. Let people donate. I mean, it's cool because you're giving a service to the people walking by you, and in return, they'll give you a little something. I mean, just cash, like a couple dollars here and there. So that's a cool way. what I would prefer, what I should have done, is have a light backpack and a ukulele. Ukulele, I mean, it's like, dude, like that big, very light, pretty cool sounding instrument. You could play any song on it. I mean, just learn that. Um, you could work odd jobs like Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, like people try to post like they need help with like raking leaves or grinding a stump or landscape or house cleaning, whatever. Try to do that. Um, yeah, try to get to know your community around you because that's what I did. I got to know locals, um, and in return, they treated me right and um, helped me out after I helped them out with stuff like around, like around the land or the house or whatever. And they'll pay you and you'll be all right. You could go on Craigslist or day labor. On day labor, what I would suggest is like go to Home Depot or Lowe's, just stand in front and just kind of wait for like a landscape company or like a, I don't know, drywall company, construction. They'll pull up and be like, hey, who wants to work today? You can make like $80 a day if you work like 8 hour shift for $10 an hour. I mean, it's kind of low, but hey, it's something in your pocket, right? So, all right. Um, last resort, which I very rarely did it, and I don't really recommend unless if you're very desperate, is panhandling itself. I mean, uh, the way I see it, you gotta look in your local and state laws on that issue because they, you could get arrested if you're holding a sign in a median or like on the side of a street. Um, like in Virginia, um, you could do it pretty much everywhere. Like I don't think that they care. What was that? Hey guys, sorry about that. Um, anyways, um, panhandling. Yeah, you gotta look into the laws of that because here in Virginia, they're real lenient. I mean, as long as you're not obstructing traffic, but like South Florida, um, it's actually it, cops don't like it there. They're like they'll say, "Hey, you gotta move on," or they could put you in jail for it, like 3 days or so. But yeah. So yeah, and if you do it, at least look presentable, like clean. Like you could go to any church, get free clothes whenever. I mean, it's amazing how much clothes people donate that they don't want to wear, and uh, you could look like you're just like you live there. I mean, it's like really good. Okay, clothing, footwear, and food. Um, Churches give out free clothing, as I just said. Um, Thing with that, you gotta. All right, like I remember one church gave away like free clothes every Monday, and then there's another church that gives away clothes every Thursday. So I kind of hit up both spots, and then I just throw the dirty clothes out instead of washing them. I mean, what's the point of washing them if you're gonna spend money to wash, like at a laundromat? So I just throw the old clothes away, take it. Um, well, since I live near the beach, like or stayed near the beach, I just use the shower, beach showers to clean up, and they give you free soap and toiletries at church, so you're good on that. They give you free food. That's a good thing, but what I would recommend is actually get a food stamps card, and you could get one of those. Um, I really would highly recommend that because you don't want to. I mean, I didn't have one, but it's not cool when you're starving for like 2, 3 days straight. It's not good stuff. Till you know. I mean, day two, you're starting to feel it like real good, or like bad, like So, shelter. Okay, so getting into that, you need to be the only person at your spot because if other people know your spot, then they're going to bring more people and blow up the whole thing. Like, not literally, but like, then they're going to be like, oh, everybody's sleeping there. So just stay by yourself like that. I mean, you can't really trust anybody. You have to get to know them for a couple weeks and then see if they're cool or not. So another one is move locations often. Yeah, move sleeping spots often. Like find really good ones. Usually, I like to. Well, in Florida, I kind of helped out this church that closed down. I just cut the grass and clean up the trash, and I got to sleep on an overhang beside two walls, and it was near a neighborhood, so I got pretty lucky with that one because the guy who kind of was running to take care of it, he kind of let us stay there. So yeah, get under a roof and yeah, stash your blanket and cushion at that spot and just leave it there. I mean, even if someone takes a blanket or a cushion that you lay on, I mean, it's just that you could get more for free anyway. I mean, it's not like see if you get your wallet and phone stolen, like those are like the two key aspects that you better really tuck away and make sure that nobody actually takes. I mean, like those are your most important items. Okay, don't use a tent. This is why. It's basically a red flag that you're there, and like pretty much like it. If someone sees your tent, they're gonna go through it when you're gone. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, sure, it keeps the mosquitoes away, rain off you, but dude, it's just too much trouble. And then you gotta relocate the tent. I mean, it's just too much. Tents are really meant for like if you're hiking for a 3 day trek, and then you're like tenting. I mean, it's not like it's gonna be there forever. I mean, unless you have such a good spot deep in the woods, then go ahead if you want. I would rather have a tarp or something. All right, because tarps are cheap and durable. You could get it at Walmart. Move to a warm climate. The reason why I say that is because you would have to carry less things. Like, because cold climate, you gotta have a heavy set clothing, a really good warm shelter. I mean, it's just too much trouble. Uh, I'd say the South, the United States, like, it's the best because, I mean, you get a couple cold snaps during the winter, like January, February, and December, but it ain't bad, like, for real. I mean, you're broke and tired, and you got at least the warm weather. Um, Speaking of warm weather, hat and sunglasses. You need to protect yourself from the sun. Trust me on that one. Wear a long sleeve white t-shirt or long sleeve white shirt. Let's get into transportation. Um, During the COVID crisis, well, it's still going. What I did, my main mode of transportation was the bus because the buses were free during it, but they just started up to pay you have to pay to ride again. But it, I mean, if you really want to like travel like up and down wherever, then try to get a bus pass. Yeah, try to get a bike. A bike's, I mean, it's like no gas power, nothing, and it's a bike. I mean, best, and get a lock with it. Trust me. Or yeah, well, we should know that. Everybody should know that. Moped. Yeah, less gas. Could take you further. You could go wherever you want. Well, city to city. Now, if you have a car, van, or RV, you are like you're like living king status in that because our like it's a van. I mean, think of a van at least. Like that's what I would want. That's what I want. And what I'm about to save up for is a van because it's pretty good shelter and it's transportation and I can actually do maintenance on it myself uh, versus an RV. RVs are just too much money to upkeep and all that. But I would get a nice new van. But yeah, guys, those are some tips. That's pretty much what I got. Whatever you do, if you make friends, let's say on the street, what I don't recommend you doing is doing what you think that I'm thinking, like, because they'd be, I mean, they, see, I drink beer, I mean, and smoke cigarettes, but they do more than that. And don't get involved in that, or else you're going to be pretty much stuck in a situation like they are in. I mean, I don't know what to do about that, but whatever. But all right, guys. Peace. See you on the other side.